This Friday marks the last regular season games for all Grand Island football teams. First stop over at Grand Island Senior High, they are hosting Lincoln High. The Islanders got on the board early using just 4 plays to get their first score and continued rolling from there. One more touchdown in the first quarter from Lewis Kalen made the score 14-0 heading into the second quarter, with the game seeming to be still within reach for the Lynx. Grand Island thought otherwise as their defense stiffened and held Lincoln scoreless until late in the game. Curtis Hudeberg started things off in the second with a 6-yard touchdown run 3 minutes into the quarter. After that, just a minute 20 later, Kellen Werner intercepted a Dylan Flynn pass and returned it 40 yards for a touchdown. Brent Harris added a touchdown on the ground from 5 yards out after the Islander defense held. A minute later, Nate Zook intercepted another Flynn pass and had himself a return for a touchdown from 34 yards out. Grand Island was able to post a couple more rushing touchdowns to make the score 54-0 before the Lynx could get on the board. They scored with 4:38 left on a 5-yard run to negate the shutout and post a 54-6 final score. Hudeberg led the way for the Islanders with 77 yards on the ground and 2 scores. Logan Allman through the air completed each of his 3 passes, totaling 81 yards. Lincoln was led by Flynn through the air with 151 yards on an 11-for-24 effort. Grand Island finishes the regular season 7-2 and will await playoff pairings for an opponent to face next week. Across town, Grand Island Northwest is battling Hastings High for a second win for the season. The game started and ended close as defenses ruled much of the game and left the first quarter scoreless. Special teams would turn out to give the Vikings the first score of the game as a blocked punt left just 6 yards to go for a score. One play later, Austin Pomeisel ran around the right side to give Northwest a 7-0 lead. That lead stuck through halftime until the Tigers put together an impressive drive on their first possession of the second half. They went 72 yards on 11 plays to tie the score at 7. Here came special teams again for the Vikings as Hastings misjudged a punt and fumbled it, only to be recovered by the Vikings. Pomeisel took the ball into scoring position on a 31-yard scamper to set up a 10-yard touchdown pass to Ethan Stutzman. The point after failed and left the score 13-7. With the game winding down, yet another special teams gem left Hastings with the ball inside their own 5-yard line after a Viking punt. A drive began, but halfway to the end zone, Northwest intercepted a Tiger pass, seemingly ending the game. But a fumble recovery from the Tigers gave them one more chance. With time running out and 15 yards to go for a score, a pass to the left almost got them in, but the Vikings were able to make a stop 3 yards short of the goal line, and Grand Island Northwest wins its second game of the season, 13-7. Also on the south end of town, Heartland Lutheran is facing Litchfield in 8-man action. Early on, it looked to be a barn burner as both teams scored within 5 minutes, but the Trojans were able to use a powerful running game and strong defense to negate the effort of the Red Hornets. In an offensive game, 5 Trojan players recorded touchdowns, including running back Blake Siegel, who had 4 rushing touchdowns to go along with 166 yards on the ground. Jacob Kreitzer led the way for Heartland Lutheran with 135 yards on the ground with 2 scores. His performance tonight put him on the 1,000-yard rusher list for the second straight season, but wasn't enough as his team falls to Litchfield 64-36. For the Grand Island Independent, this is Denton Cushing reporting.